Growing up, I always knew my heart was fragile, a congenital heart condition that followed me like a shadow. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for the events that unfolded in those school restrooms, leaving me scarred forever. Today, I want to share a piece of my past that continues to haunt me even at the age of 27, a story that might make your spine tingle as it did to mine when I lived through it. It was the fall of 2008, and I was just a 4th grade student in a school that was eerily close to an abandoned hospital. The school building itself had been built on what used to be hospital grounds. I remember that day vividly. The overcast sky, the faint chiming of the church bells next door, and the sinking feeling that I couldn't quite shake as I walked through the hallway. Our school lacked space, so the younger students had morning classes, while we, the older ones, attended in the afternoon. It was late in the day, and the overcast sky had painted the school in muted tones of gray. The hallways were dim, with only a few lights flickering intermittently, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch endlessly. Midway through class, a sharp pain shot through my stomach. I raised my hand and asked the teacher for permission to go to the bathroom. "Miss, may I go to the restroom?" I asked, my voice shaky. The teacher looked at me with a concerned expression. "Are you okay? You don't look well." "I'm fine, just need to use the restroom," I replied, trying to smile. "All right, go ahead. But be quick," she said, nodding. As I hurried down the hallway, my steps echoed through the empty corridor. The restroom itself was unervingly bright, with flickering fluorescent lights that hummed above, and the entire space seemed sterile and quiet, too quiet. There were 5 stalls, each one with its own creaky door. The stillness of the restroom made my heart pound harder, and I felt as though I was being watched. I rushed into a stall, relieved to be alone. But that relief didn't last. As soon as I stood up and zipped my pants, an unexpected loud bang echoed throughout the restroom. All the stall doors slammed shut simultaneously. "What the?" I whispered, my voice barely audible over the pounding of my heart. The sudden noise made my heart skip a beat, and I instinctively clutched my chest. My heart skipped a beat, the lights went out, and I found myself plunged into complete darkness. Fear crawled up my spine as I tried to push my stall door open, but it was stuck. "No, no, no. Please open," I muttered, struggling against the door. I could feel my breath quickening, panic taking over. My breathing grew shallow, and I felt my chest tightening, a terrifying reminder of my heart condition. The darkness seemed to close in on me, pressing against my skin, making my chest ache even more. Suddenly, I heard the unmistakable creak of a door opening. The door to the last stall at the end of the row slowly swung open, making a hair-raising screech that echoed in the silence. My heart pounded, the sound almost deafening in the stillness. Is someone there?" I called out, my voice trembling. I strained my ears, hoping for a response, but all I heard was the pounding of my heart and the soft rustle of air moving through the room. No answer. I strained my eyes, trying to see in the dim light coming from a small window above. My heart pounded painfully as I saw the silhouette of a girl standing there, her hair long, her clothes a tattered white. She didn't move, she just stood there, facing my direction. The air seemed to grow colder with every second that passed, and I could feel goosebumps rising on my skin. "Who are you?" I whispered, my voice barely a croak. My knees felt weak, and I was trembling all over. I could barely breathe, my vision blurring from both the darkness and the fear. In that moment, my mother's words rang in my head, a prayer she taught me when I was younger. I whispered it softly at first, then louder and louder, until I was almost shouting, "In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, leave this place. Please, just leave me alone." I shouted, my voice echoing through the restroom. My voice echoed, and as if on cue, the church bell next door tolled, once, twice, thrice, until it reached 5 o'clock. Each toll of the bell seemed to reverberate through my entire body, and I could feel the vibrations in my bones. Just like that, the lights flickered back on, the doors unlocked, and the stall doors swung open. I bolted out of the stall, my heart racing, my legs barely able to carry me. I ran down the hallway, my vision blurring as tears filled my eyes. I could hear my own sobs, but I couldn't stop. I just needed to get away. Everything went dark. When I regained consciousness, I was in a hospital bed. My mother sat beside me, her eyes red from crying. "Mom." I croaked, my voice weak. My throat felt dry, and my body ached all over. "Oh, sweetheart, you're awake," she said, tears welling up again. She reached out and gently stroked my hair. "You scared me so much." "What happened?" I asked, trying to sit up. The room seemed to spin slightly, and I felt a sharp pain in my chest. "You fainted, another cardiac episode," she said, her voice breaking. "They found you in the restroom." Her voice cracked, and I could see the fear in her eyes. After that incident, my school days were never the same. Every time I walked by that restroom, I saw an incense burner and offerings placed in front, a grim reminder of what happened. Older students told stories of how our school was built over an old hospital morgue. The air around that restroom always seemed colder, and I could never shake off the feeling that I was being watched. "You know, they say the school was built on top of an old morgue," an older student once whispered to me. "A morgue?" I repeated, my stomach churning. I could feel the blood draining from my face as the realization hit me. "Yeah, you're not the only one who's seen things," they said, their eyes widening. "People say they've heard voices, seen shadows. You're lucky you got out of there." I wasn't the only one who had strange experiences in that restroom, but I was the one who paid for it with a scarred mind and a weakened heart. Years later, when I thought I could finally move on, a similar encounter happened again, this time in middle school. It was late in the afternoon, after a sports event. I walked into the restroom alone, the air thick with humidity from the rainstorm outside. The sky was dark, heavy clouds covering the sun, and the distant rumble of thunder echoed through the school. "Let's make this quick," I muttered to myself, trying to shake off the unease. The restroom was dimly lit, and the air felt thick and suffocating. I could hear the rain pounding against the windows, and the sound seemed to grow louder with each passing second. I chose the last stall, but as I was about to leave, I saw it again, a shadow outside the stall door. It was faint, barely visible, but unmistakable. "No, not again," I whispered, my voice breaking. I could feel the panic rising in my chest, my hands trembling. But what terrified me the most was what I saw next. Long hair, hanging upside down, as if someone was standing on the ceiling, staring at me. The hair swayed gently, and I could see a pair of hollow eyes staring right into mine. Fear paralyzed me. I ran out, not even bothering to zip my pants properly. My heart was pounding, my vision blurred, and before I knew it, everything went dark again. My chest burned, and I could feel the life draining out of me. The next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital. My mother once again was there, worried sick. Her face lit up as soon as she saw me open my eyes. "Mom," I whispered, tears welling up in my eyes. I could feel the tightness in my chest, the pain still fresh. "Sure, it's okay, sweetheart," she said, holding my hand. "You're safe now." Her eyes were filled with tears, but she tried to smile for me. The doctors said I had narrowly survived another cardiac arrest. That was the final straw for me. I took a break from school, trying to heal both my heart and my mind. My mother was supportive, insisting that my health came first. I spent months recovering, both physically and mentally, trying to regain some sense of normalcy. Now, even as an adult, the memories still haunt me. I still sleep with a light on, and restrooms, especially public ones, always make my heart race. I don't know if it was a ghost or just my frightened imagination playing tricks on me, but what I do know is that the fear was real, and it changed me forever. The fear still lingers, and every creak, every flicker of a light, brings me back to those moments. Sometimes, I wonder if I'll ever truly be free from it. Will I always feel this fear, this unshakable dread that follows me wherever I go? I try to tell myself that it wasn't real, that it was all in my head. But deep down, a part of me knows that what I saw, what I felt, was something beyond explanation. If you enjoyed this story, or if it sent a shiver down your spine, please consider subscribing to my channel. There's more where that came from, more tales of terror, real-life encounters, and chilling experiences. Don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.